Ladies and gentlemen, digital investors, welcome back to another video where we go over everything that is going on inside of the crypto space. This video is going to be a good one, so make sure you stick it through. If you guys could do me a favor and tap the like, it helps a ton for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're trying to stay on top of everything that is going on inside of the crypto space, make sure you subscribe so you can get a video like this going over Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything that is going on inside of the crypto space. We're going to be going over Bitcoin. We're going to be going over Fidelity and Grayscale. We're going to be going over what the whales in this market are doing, and also what we can expect in terms of new investors coming on board, this wave of money that is expected to hit crypto, where it could likely be coming from. So I want to start here. Russia's State Hermitage Museum to host NFT Art Exhibition. Now this is pretty crazy, right? To see an NFT art exhibition inside of an actual museum. So Russia's State Museum, it's the second largest art museum in the world, has announced that it will host an exhibition of NFT art this year, describing NFTs as the most urgent agenda in the field of contemporary art today. Now the rest of this article just goes on to explain what NFTs are, but we're not going to get into all that. I'm sure you guys already have, a rough grasp of what NFTs are, but this is really insane. This really brings a lot of legitimacy to NFTs, right? I mean, when I first saw NFTs, it was kind of hard to take it serious. It was kind of hard to believe that it would gain in so much popularity. NFTs in terms of virtual land and in terms of in-game items, I totally thought that those were going to be very, very popular. However, what we're seeing now, you see these little images, these little NFT images that are selling for millions of dollars. I definitely didn't think it would be that popular, but we are seeing an increase in the rise of popularity and an increase in prices of virtual land and things like that. And I went through this. This says NFT Craze and institutional money to bring next 100 million crypto users, says Crypto.com CEO. And I thought that this was very, very interesting. Seeing that Russian museum NFT exhibit and then reading this, it really made me start thinking, where is the wave of retail money going to come from? Because as of right now, we're getting institutional money inside of this bull run, right? We see institutions buying Bitcoin like crazy as that hedge against, the dollar inflation, the dollar being printed, everything like that. That's the main narrative, is people just want to be able to preserve their buying power. And as of right now, Bitcoin looks to be a great solution to doing that, because not only are you holding your buying power with Bitcoin, but people are also making amazing gains on it. So knowing that we have those institutional investors in, what I think we don't really have yet is retail in on a massive scale, right? It's not really that retail is the one pumping these prices. It's definitely more so the institutions, and the retail side is growing because these things are picking up in popularity, but we're not reaching, what we saw in 2017, where just so many new people are just pouring into the market every single day. And I think NFTs might actually be that new wave of retail money that gets so many people into crypto, right? I think in 2017, a lot of people were buying into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for that make money aspect, right? People wanted to get rich quick. They wanted to, buy Bitcoin and then buy a Lambo. I feel like that was a lot of the people who were getting into the crypto space at the time. And that's how it was pitched a lot, right? Is that crypto, you get rich quick with it. But now we see that narrative kind of switching up a little bit, where people aren't buying Bitcoin to get rich quick, but they're buying Bitcoin because they, almost out of necessity, right? They see that they're losing their buying power and they're looking for an asset class to stick it in. So when we get that massive retail FOMO, that massive amounts of retail investors coming in, could that be driven by NFTs, by the rise in popularity of them? You guys have seen, I'm sure you've seen so many celebrities either launching their own NFT or, just tweeting about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, almost as if they are literally priming their audience for launches and things like that. And it seems like we could just be setting up to have everybody who's attracted to NFTs, right? So these artists, and definitely especially gamers and people who can kind of see this vision, I feel like that is going to be the next wave of retail retail money that comes in. NFTs could drive it. And that's kind of what the Crypto.com CEO goes over. So let's go over what he says. He says it took over a decade for crypto to reach 100 million users, or 1% of the global population, according to a study by Crypto.com. He says going from 100 to 200 million is going to be much, much faster than going from 50 to 100 million. The arrival of institutions into the crypto space has signaled to many that mainstream adoption is underway. Names like PayPal and Tesla are beefing up their Bitcoin acquisitions and supporting Bitcoin payment rails for non-native customers. He says there is just a whole slew of financial institutions that are now putting a certain portion of their assets into Bitcoin. So that drives quite a lot of action. And now it starts to go in how NFTs could speed up adoption. He says NFTs have established themselves as the hottest topic of 2021 so far. The NBA, Jack Dorsey, and some of the most prestigious auction houses in the world are all cashing in on the craze. And like I just showed you guys, now we have the Russian museum, second largest museum in the world, to have an NFT exhibit. So this is getting very legitimized. He's excited about the prospect of top celebrities who have 100, 200 million, and 200 or 250 million followers getting their fan bases involved with crypto. He believes this could lead to a surge of new users, and I could definitely agree. We are definitely seeing that, right? We are seeing celebrities basically, it's kind of calmed down now, but before there was like 1 week, 2 weeks where it seemed like they were just all shilling it at once, and we have seen some of them actually come out and create their own NFTs. He says today culture is led by influencers who are just operating online. This is the perfect time for NFTs to actually go mainstream. And that's true, right? Everyone is locked inside right now. People are, on lockdown, can't fly, can't travel, can't whatever. Everyone is glued, absolutely glued to their screens. And they are going to start diving and learning about this world. They even had a segment on, I think it was CNBC, where they were going over virtual land and how it's rising in price and rising in popularity. So this is pretty insane stuff, guys. And I think that we could see, the popularity of NFTs and this NFT boom could be that next wave, that next personality type of investors that come in. Because on this bull run, right, we have maybe, to the end of 2021 to the end of 2022, assuming we're staying on roughly a 4-year cycle, it's not like, every single person in the world is going to be buying crypto on this bull run. In 2017, it was a specific type of person, right? People who had a certain amount of things in common that got attracted to the crypto space for certain reasons. In this cycle, right, this new retail money, if it's driven by NFTs, it's going to be a new niche of people. It's going to be people who are attracted to crypto and NFTs for a specific set of reasons. And when you combine this NFT craze and popularity and the institutions buying, the smart money buying, we could see some pretty explosive price action. And the question will come to is who is going to hold the bag? And I think it's definitely not going to be the institutions, right? I think all the retail investors who come in excited on NFTs, buying high, I think they're most definitely going to be the ones holding the bag. We can already see that institutions are starting to take profits. And the reason why I say that is I actually saw this article. This is basically some analysis by Willy Woo. He says, here's how Bitcoin dolphins, sharks, and whales are playing the crypto markets, according to Willy Woo. As Bitcoin takes a dive to the low 50,000 range this week, new crypto whales are entering the market. He says some bearish scares over whales selling down. Here's a more complete picture. This is Bitcoin held by dolphins, sharks, and whales. And he's kind of defining that as people who hold 100 Bitcoin all the way up to 10,000 Bitcoin. He says whales becoming dolphins/sharks, new buyers coming in. Cohort is still accumulating. They usually sell in the middle of the bull run, still bullish. So you might be a little confused. Let's just keep reading. Wu points out that although it may appear as though whales have been parting with their BTC at an alarming rate, causing the recent sell-off, the Bitcoin being sold on the market are newer supplies likely held by entities that are taking profits after the largest crypto asset's huge run-up. He says this is a new species of whale, hedge funds, likely selling down for end-of-quarter rebalancing after such a good run from $10,000 per Bitcoin last year. Doesn't look like the typical OGs selling when they do on every bull season rally. The coins being sold lately are relatively young. Bitcoin addresses are forensically clustered into wallets held by individual participants before extracting this view. Beware that looking at just raw address balances, which I've seen posted elsewhere, can be misleading. Woo also highlights that Bitcoin seems to be attracting buyers above the $1 trillion market cap range, indicating that Bitcoin may never dip below 1 trillion valuation again. He says 7.3% of Bitcoins last moved at prices above 1 trillion. 1 trillion is already strongly supported by investors. I'd say there's a fair chance we'll never see Bitcoin below 1 trillion again. So that's pretty interesting, guys, right? That most of the Bitcoin that's being sold now is not old Bitcoin. It's not OG whales who are selling, but it's more younger coins. It's likely to be the hedge funds, right? And the hedge funds, right, these institutions, they're going to operate in a completely different way than your average person is going to operate, right? They have strategies, they have strategists, they have advisors, they have all these different things, right? These quarterly reports, their taxes, right? They're going to be moving their money around this market probably a lot differently than we are. And of course, they're probably going to want to lock in their profits. You know, if you think these companies that have, you know, $1 million, $1 billion balance sheets are investing into Bitcoin because they love Bitcoin and they're never going to sell, and they just have these diamond hands, you know, that's probably a bit misleading, right? These guys are here to make more money. They're here to create more wealth. If Bitcoin starts giving off red flags, if it starts looking risky, if it starts topping out, I doubt they are going to diamond hand hold these bags. On the other hand, you know, yeah, if they bought at $10,000 and Bitcoin is now between $50,000 to $60,000, it's smart for them to take profits, right? Why would you not lock out your initial investment and now you could just play with house money, right? It's just smart investing. I was telling you guys on yesterday's video, you know, if you get a 10x, a 20x, a 50x to at least take some profit or at least take out your initial investment is nothing to have shame over. It's simply smart investing to make yourself in a trade risk-free, right? If you could play with house money and you're not assuming any more risk on the trade, why would you not do it, especially with something as volatile as cryptocurrencies? So some really crazy stuff we're seeing, right? Let's go over some prices for today. Go over the top 10. Bitcoin at 55,000, Ethereum at 1,700, BNB at 264, Cardano at $1.18, Polkadot $32, XRP 55 cents, Uniswap at $28, Litecoin at $182, and Theta sitting at $11.84. Our fear and greed index for today, yesterday we were in neutral at 54. I asked you guys to tell me if you think we'll be in fear. I personally was hoping that we would go into fear, but today we have jumped up into the greed level at 65. We will have to see what happens for tomorrow. And then we have a Fidelity Bitcoin ETF would be everybody's gain, but Grayscale's pain. So let's see what this is about. In case you missed it, the Boston-based financial giant dropped paperwork this week to create an ETF. If approved, Fidelity's Bitcoin fund would be traded as shares on public stock exchanges alongside the company's other ETFs dedicated to bonds, blue chip stocks, and other assets. If this comes to pass, it would be a huge win not just for Fidelity, but for everyone who owns Bitcoin. The approval of a Bitcoin ETF would add another sheen of legitimacy to cryptocurrency. And yeah, most definitely it would. They say it would lead to a flood of new investment from both retail and institutional clients. All of this would likely cause the price of Bitcoin to moon. Now it goes over, you know, what does this mean for Grayscale? And I was kind of interested in this, you know, how would this affect Grayscale? So if the SEC does grant Fidelity an ETF, one clear loser would be crypto stalwart Grayscale. Grayscale collects a fat 2% fee. The advent of an ETF means Grayscale's cozy niche is poised to implode. Investors recognize the ETF writing is on the wall and are waiting to buy an ETF whose expenses will be a fraction of Grayscale's trust. Okay, so that's the main thing here. The reason why they're saying that this could bring some harm to Grayscale is because the ETF fees would be much less than Grayscale. So if you could get if you could get exposure to Bitcoin, and you could do that through Fidelity's ETF and Grayscale's trust, but the Fidelity ETF has much less fees and your dollar can go further, you can accumulate more Bitcoin, more cryptocurrency, you're probably going to go with that option, right? Just like people, once you're in crypto for a while, you want to look for an exchange that has less fees, right? If you've ever bought on the regular Coinbase platform, you see that the fees are high, right? Once you start investing big amounts of money, considerable amounts of money, and you see those $20 fees per transaction, $50 fee for a transaction, you're going to start to want to say, all these fees, right? All these $20, $50 fees. If I can get my fee down to $5 or $10, that's an extra $40 of Bitcoin for me. That's an extra $40 of cryptocurrency for me. So Grayscale may convert its trust to an ETF of its own when the time is right. If this transpires, the returns would not be as lucrative for Grayscale, but it could help the company reel in a broader pool of customers and remain a major player in the Bitcoin market. So Grayscale could just make their ETF at some point in the future. Obviously would hurt their profits, but hey, if they really start losing business, they might have to lose some profits to be able to compete. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm sure Grayscale would be able to figure it out if they really did start taking some heat because of this. We also have IOTA Foundation joins the European Blockchain Association. Man, guys, IOTA just kind of flies under the radar. I never see many people talking about it, but the news that comes out for this coin is absolutely amazing. So the European Blockchain Association announced today that IOTA will join the global nonprofit organization to promote research and development of new distributed ledger technologies, including the IOTA Tangle. As part of the EBA, the IOTA Foundation will participate in the Proof of Stake Working Group and support the interdisciplinary approach to boost education about advanced DLT tech and to progressing the industry as a whole through self-regulation, standard setting, and the development of best practices. So the chairman of this European Blockchain Association said this is a statement about the IOTA Foundation joining. He says, "We are delighted that with the IOTA Foundation, another major protocol has joined the EBA. As a neutral body, we aim to represent the diversity of the blockchain ecosystem. With its unique design, IOTA is an essential part of it. We are looking forward to connecting ideas, people, and technologies." So there is that piece of news for IOTA. Let me know in the comments below, do you hold IOTA or do you have no clue what the project is, right? Have you never even heard of it before, or do you personally hold it? I just kind of want to get a rough estimate of, how popular it is among the digital investor community and among the crypto space. And we also have governments are exploring whether to buy Bitcoin, says CEO of NYDIG. So the CEO says the governments are contemplating investing in Bitcoin. Robert Gutman confirms with Raul Paul that government-owned funds are inquiring about the possibility of buying the flagship cryptocurrency. In response, Paul reveals that Temasek Holdings, which is an investment firm owned by the Singapore government, which manages a net worth portfolio of $306 billion, has long been buying virgin Bitcoin tokens that have never been used for any transactions. If you're wondering, what is a virgin Bitcoin token? I mean, it's basically like a miner mines Bitcoin. Those tokens have never been used in a transaction, so they'd pretty much be buying them directly off the miners, right? It's fresh Bitcoin that has never even been on an exchange or seen the market before, so hence the term a virgin coin. Gutman explains, if you look at the world today on a forward basis, it is reasonable to be asking yourself as an investment committee or as an allocation committee if having all of their assets denominated in dollars against dollar-denominated liabilities is the right allocation mix, right? The governments, companies, institutions, they're realizing, hey, the dollar is being debased. Do we really want to have, all of our excess liquidity in dollars? It's just sitting here doing nothing. Goldman Sachs' recent SEC filing reveals that the banking titan wishes to offer an investment product linked to the top crypto. BNY Mellon, America's oldest bank, is also working on a secure platform for transferring, holding, and issuing digital assets. Let me know in the comments below if you think governments would actually consider or actually would buy Bitcoin at some point, right? If they were desperate enough, I don't see how they wouldn't either fly to Bitcoin or gold or some other cryptocurrency that would meet that store of value, maintaining buying power narrative, right? They're going to need somewhere to plug in all their capital. If you guys enjoyed the video and you like daily cryptocurrency updates, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified every single time that I upload. If you could also do me a favor and hit the like button, it really does help a ton for the YouTube algorithm to show this video for to more people. And I appreciate all the support that you guys give. Keep in mind that nothing we cover or go over here is financial advice. I am just documenting the daily crypto news and this crypto bull run, and that is it. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you all on the next video.